Tristan Jutras here this morning, and you sent us a picture of something that you got in the mail, which is kind of funny because you're one of those, it's snail mail.
Exactly. Yesterday, before I left the house, I noticed the mail carrier had popped something through the mailbox, and it was a letter addressed to occupant, and it said, "Open immediately, urgent." And it was from Canada Post. I'm like, oh, what's this all about? You know, it's urgent.
So they did get your attention.
Yeah, but it wasn't ad mail. In the top right corner, you often see it if it's ad mail or letter mail. It's letter mail, so it's an actual letter, but it's addressed to occupant. You read the letter, it says, "Dear occupant, blah, 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 blah." And what it's saying is,
blah, blah, blah,
that's
blah.
basically what it is. The way it's written, it left a little bit to be desired. It's basically saying, you've opted out of receiving, flyers and basically junk mail through our Consumer Choice program, but you're missing out on all sorts of great stuff, municipal announcements, savings, and whatnot. All you have to do is send back this little card, response card, and we'll get you back in the program.
And in the brackets, we're missing out, Canada Post, on some big revenue. So you'd really help us along if you'd say yes to these flyers, right? That's the gist of it.
Yeah, and the weird part is that the people who have made the effort to opt out of this really don't want junk mail. So for them to send you more junk mail saying, "Hey, can we send you more junk mail?" is kind of strange phenomenon altogether.
Although, to be on their side, to play devil's advocate, perhaps the content has changed over time, and they are sending more valuable things through the mail, and maybe you don't realize it as a consumer. So maybe they could have written it a little bit differently.
Exactly. They could have personalized it. You think they would have some sort of access to database of names, like rather than saying "Dear occupant."
Well, you'd think, but imagine that then takes more bodies to figure all that out, key in all those names.
I think they have this computers now.
Yeah.
So the big thing I'm missing out now is A&W coupons. That's what we're really upset about.
And that doesn't upset you.
Well, it does a little bit.
There's lots of good stuff in the mail.
No, I'm saying that is the thing I miss most.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, we get a lot of stuff and flyers in our newspapers, but municipal announcements, it's kind of unfair that official stuff gets mixed in with the advertising stuff. Anyway, so how I got out of this, there was something called
That's what people want to know now. How do you get out of that?
Actually, a colleague of mine launched something a couple of years ago called the Red Dot campaign. Now, their website's a little bit in stasis now. I don't think they've been doing much with it lately, but it was to alert people about the Consumer Choice campaign, and they have a letter that you can download and print out. You attach it to your door or to your mailbox, addressed to the postal carrier. They take it with them, and you can print out a little sticker to put on your door. It says, it's got a red dot, and it says basically, "Don't deliver junk mail," and they'll make a note back at the sorting office not to give you junk mail. And this is all part of the Consumer Choice program that the Canada Post instituted back in 2001.
Which they're cursing themselves over now.
Exactly, but because they barely promote it at all.
Okay.
Now another option is something called no ad mail, and that's a little $5 dongle that you can get. Attach it to your municipal mailbox, your super mailbox, or if you have an individual mailbox, it's $5, and it's part of this. And it also reminds the carrier too. So if you don't have like a mail slot, this is something that you can attach to the front of your
wherever
mailbox.
they drop your mail off.
Exactly.
Because they do. I've seen them. It's literally kind of like firing off cards at the blackjack table, right? They just go door to door to door and dump off the pile of flyers.
So with this, it'll be in your mailbox, and this is a couple from Cochrane, Alberta, actually set this up. So a $5 widget that.
You realize you're all contributing to the demise of Canada Post, though, right?
One other thing.
When in 5 years, when there's absolutely no mail delivery in this country, we're pinning it on red dot, no ad mail, and you.
And smartcanucks.ca. If you want to get some of the flyers and coupons you may be missing out on, you can check sites like that. Smartcanucks.ca. There's also Flyerland. There's Red Flag Deals. There's all sorts of places where you can catch not everything, but a lot of them are available on these sites as well.
Right, and those obviously then are paperless until you print them off.
Exactly.
Which is better for the environment.
Or print, send them to your phone, for example. That's handy. But Canada Post is trying to reinvent itself, believe it or not.
It has to.
They did start with this Consumer Choice program in 2001, which I said they barely promoted, but they also were very early out of the gates with e-Post in the late 90s, early 2000s, whereby you could have a lot of your bills sent to you. So it's probably cheaper from them that way, and it sort of takes the onus off of the system, the physical system.
And as far as their business goes, of course, they now deliver more packages because more people order things online.
Well, and they also own Purolator. A lot of people don't realize that too.
Look at you ferreting out the details.
And they also have a Vault service, which they just launched a year or two ago. Where
What's that?
It's kind of like Dropbox. It's a cloud storage service where all your personal and sensitive documents you can store. Canada Post will keep that in the cloud for you with all the trust that you have in Canada Post. It's safe and secure, stored in Canadian
like having
servers.
A safety deposit box at the banks,
Exactly.
but it's on your computer.
Exactly. They have a 90-day free trial, and there's plans from $5 a month or $3 a month and up for different amounts of storage. So that's a way that they are trying to think a little bit differently, and get other revenue sources. And all postal offices are having this problem around the world. The United States Postal Service, they're losing $5 million a day.
Well, they just tried to pass a law where they would stop Saturday postal delivery, and the bulk of Americans threw their arms up and went, "What?
They get Saturdays,
like, hello,
right?
We don't get Saturday delivery, and we've survived just fine. Thank you very much."
In England, they were getting mail twice a day. So Canada Post has a website, and it's called The Future of Canada Post. There's a big banner on their main website where they want ideas, they want our thoughts and opinions on helping them shape the future of Canada Post. And so there's all sorts of comments that people have left there. And
just not a big slow-moving bureaucracy.
Exactly.
It's good. No, it's really good to see. I like how you started off knocking them and brought it full circle.
They're trying. They
are really trying.
That's good to hear. We don't want them to go away, or do we want them to be privatized either?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Hey, thanks. That was fun.
You're welcome.
All right.